Today we want to talk about the fourth layer in our Rebuilding Trust pyramid, and that is intimacy. And you can find it in our book, Rebuilding Trust, the Christian version or the regular version, or in Rebuilding Trust, the course.
Intimacy is something that we all crave, but a lot of people avoid it because it can be scary. Intimacy really means being able to share all of yourself with your partner without fear of repercussion or being made fun of. And that means flaws and all. A lot of our clients that we work with have a hard time understanding that they have flaws, but that someone can still care about them, and so they hold parts of themselves back, and this hampers intimacy.
Typically when we hear the word intimacy, we think sex. So people think sex, intimacy, they're really the same thing, but actually sex can be a part of intimacy, but it's not even close to being all there is when it comes to intimacy. A large part of our clients that are actually doing infidelity-related behavior are actually looking for intimacy. They're just using their acting out behavior as a replacement.
Sex outside of the primary relationship or empty sex within the relationship itself, which means like emotionally checking out, pornography use, these kinds of things actually hamper intimacy because they replace what should be happening in building intimacy in the relationship with a kind of a pseudo intimacy in which the person can remain in control and isn't really sharing part of themselves at all.
In our video today, we're going to talk about 5 different types of intimacy. So there's physical intimacy, there is emotional intimacy, spiritual intimacy, intellectual intimacy, and experiential intimacy.
When we talk about physical intimacy, we are including sex, but it encompasses a lot more than sex. It's putting your arm around another person, it's holding their hand, it's patting them on the back, these kinds of things. So a lot of times when partners are rejecting sexual intimacy, it's because other pieces of physical intimacy are missing and they feel like the person is only after them for the sex. The next type of intimacy we want to talk about is emotional intimacy, and this means sharing how you feel with someone else, sharing your experience with someone else. A lot of clients that we work with have trouble doing this, a lot of times because they don't even know how they feel. A lot of clients that we work with struggle with emotional intimacy because they don't know how they feel themselves. A good first step to becoming emotionally intimate with someone is to understand your own feelings first.
Spiritual intimacy is the next form, and people get this pretty confused. Some people do church or synagogue together, they pray together at lunch or dinner, and they think, yeah, we're connected spiritually. Not so much. So we're not talking about that form of regimented spirituality. We're talking about being connected with your partner in a spiritual way.
And spiritual intimacy doesn't have always to do with mainstream religion. It can be spiritual experiences. So meditation or some form of martial arts, these kinds of things can be also spiritually connecting for people. The fourth type of intimacy we want to talk about is intellectual. And this is being able to share thoughts, ideas, and opinions about a lot of different things with someone without fear of being made fun of or put down. And this can be anything from politics to what's going on in the world today to movies that you liked. All these kind of things, having an intellectual conversation with someone can increase intimacy.
Last is experiential intimacy. A lot of guys get this because we have our little bromances where we're hanging out with the guys. That's what we're talking about, experiencing something with someone. But in this case, we're talking about how do we do it with our partner. And so what can you do that is experiencing something together? You can go on dates, there's lots of different things you can do. But the point isn't what you're doing, it's the focus is doing it and doing it together.
And it doesn't stop at just doing the activity. It's also helpful to talk about what the activity meant to you. Did you like it? Would you like to do it again? What would you change? These kind of things. These all go into experiential intimacy. People experience intimacy on different levels depending on who they're interacting with. Obviously, if you have a friendship, you have some intimacy there, but you may not be experiencing all levels of intimacy, and that's okay. But in healthy romantic relationships, we find that you need to address all areas of intimacy equally.
And the quickest way to destroy intimacy is through betrayal, whether it be betrayal through pornography or some form of sexual acting out, or being intimacy avoidant and not giving yourself to your partner.
And the problem with betrayal is that your partner will have felt that they were working towards something in their life with you. And if you betray them on these levels, they no longer feel like you're on their side, and so intimacy disappears. And we have been talking about in these last videos the rebuilding trust pyramids. And so I wanted to remind you of the other layers and talk about how they work with intimacy. So if you'll remember, the first layer is honesty, the second layer is safety, the third layer is consistency. And intimacy being at the top layer is a little bit misleading in the fact that really if you turned the pyramid upside down, intimacy would pour out the bottom. And if you have the ingredients of honesty, safety, and consistency, then you should be building intimacy. But if you take one of those ingredients out, intimacy stops.
So all this sounds pretty hard, right? This is a lot of work, and I'm sure you have holes in your intimacy with your partner. I think we all do in some capacity. So I'd really encourage you to check out another video that we have called Restoring Intimacy. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below.
Or head over to becomingwellinstitute.com to learn more about trauma, addiction, intimacy avoidance, and other related topics. Take a free assessment or set up a consult with one of our trained professionals.
Let us help you keep your journey towards becoming well going.